Hello all, Kinder Knight here, and I want to welcome you back to Dobek Castle. And I'm super excited and pumped for today's episode because we will be finally breaking ground on what will be the town of Dobek surrounding our castle here. Let's get into it. And now, although the Lord of Dobek Castle is very rich and wealthy and owns vast sums of land with plenty of tenants, but the province Dobek Castle rules over is a moderately medium-sized town, really not big enough to be considered a city, but more in line with a small growing rural suburb. And so I thought it would make the most sense to go with a mostly wooden fortification to enclose the town. And I'm really glad I did because in my opinion, it really pops against the castle here and really adds a nice texture and effect. Going with this wooden style really does allow for more details, as you can see, than it would if it was just laid in stone, in my opinion. And really just taking advantage of the natural formation of the cliffs here really just adds to the defense of the town, but also really adds cohesion to the build. Again, keeping in line with a rural town design, I really didn't want the town to feel too overly defendable and imposing. After all, it is just a simple town, but I did want the defenses to be practical and realistic, which is why the town walls are not super tall. And I did go ahead and continue the wall all the way around the castle, just to further deter any foolish individuals from trying to attack and scale the promontory from here. And now, for a bit of lore. It was mentioned in the last episode that the Lord of Dobek is a very wealthy and powerful baron, and a large part of his income comes from the rent he charges his vassals and other tenants that occupies his lands, and also a nice portion of that income also comes from taxing the rich merchant ships that want to dock in his port. But the real reason the castle was built in this location is because of a very valuable natural resource that seems to be found more prevalently within this location near the castle. The resources are excavated from a mine located just a few kilometers east of the castle. The resources being iron, flint, and probably the most valuable of them all, salt. And after the baron pays his tribute portion to the crown, the surplus can be then sold off for his own personal profit. And so many of the serfs and peasants that call this town their home are forced to labor and work in the mines for these resources. Alright guys, that's all I have for you guys today in terms of lore when it comes to this town. Hopefully some of that resonated with some of you. And now we're just finishing up this time lapse with a few buildings being added in. Very simple, nothing much to them yet. We will try to change up the designs as the town move along, but I just wanted to start off with something pretty simple and just kind of set the foundation of what to expect when it comes to this. There will be a lot of changes after the time lapse that was made that you guys will not see, so I hope you guys do stick around for that because it looks really cool if I do say so myself. So stick around guys, and I will see you guys back here after the time lapse. Alright guys, and we're back, and we're right out front of our newly installed fortification around our town here. I really love how this came out, I really do. A lot of work was done off camera, and we're gonna do our best to try to check everything out without taking up too much time. And now this was something I thought about if I wanted to do or not, and finally I decided on going ahead and doing it. I went ahead and added this palisade and brought it all the way around the castle, because again, if you were gonna try to come up this, I kind of thought that it may still be a little too convenient for attackers to maybe sail up in some ships or something like that and climb up this. So I just went ahead and added this palisade just to kind of make it that much more harder. And you know, you can never have too many defenses when it comes to a good castle, and so I like it, and I like the look it gives the castle as well. But let's go ahead and check out some of the other features of this wall a little bit closer. If we go a little closer, we can see some of the details here. We have these logs that kind of sit horizontally in the wall, holding it in place, as well as these bracers that sit vertical on both sides of the wall, and it kind of just holds the wall together. Reference this from Kingdom Come Deliverance. Again, Dobek Castle, the fortifications that they use is very similar to this, and that's what I use to base the design of this wall off of. And I think it translated well in Minecraft, and I'm happy with it. But moving on, we can go ahead and check out our little road here. It's obviously unfinished, but I did extend it to where it gives the build some cool effect. Of course, it's going to extend a little further down the way there, but as you can see now, it's just stops at this point. But again, it will continue to go up this area here, because I do plan to build and add in some other things that pertains to this village. But anyways, as you can see, very detailed, very realistic, the wood features of the tower there. And because I do plan on doing some building and adding some things across this little river, I will add a little bridge right here. But taking it back onto the road, I really love how the texturing came out. I think I did pretty good with that. But this would be the perfect place to start the tour, at least as far as the wood fortifications go. But you can just imagine what it would be like with guards posted up here, watching you as you enter into the gatehouse here. So let's go ahead and enter. As you can see, looking up, we do have the portcullis gate there. We're going to ignore all that over there and just move along down this path and go up onto the battlements here. We will be checking out the village, but first we want to focus on the wooden fortifications, the palisade first. But moving on, as you can see, we have some good sight lines, some good views on approaching attackers or anyone approaching. But moving on through, we'll go into the first gatehouse here. Go ahead and close the door. So again, we have good views looking out here if an army's coming, good ways to flank them if they're coming from across the river. And then of course, when they're approaching, we can watch them and attack. And then we have a barrel of arrows there, good to have some extra ammunition. And then right here, we have our portcullis mechanism right here. Really cool design. I really think I did my due diligence when it came to this. It looks good. We have some gears there, which actually makes it look like it works properly and stuff like that. And so I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. But with that, we'll move on, open the door there, and then we'll make our way down the battlements. Again, guys, a lot of detail in this wall, as you can see. A lot of things going on just to try to make it feel and look as realistic as possible. And I think I did a pretty good job. You guys can tell me in the comments if you feel the same way. But we're gonna go ahead and walk all the way down to the next tower here. It's gonna take us a little bit, but it's fun to do it anyway, so we're gonna walk it. So opening the next door here, we come into our second tower, where we have obviously some more views. As you can see, you can look out these windows to see who's approaching this castle. And in here is just an extra kind of space. We have a table here where our guards can sit and eat and just kind of relax. We got some extra arrows, some extra ammunition, because again, good to have extra ammunition around so we can fight for a while without having to leave our post. We come up to the top here and we have some more views, some more you can see right there, and we have some more areas where we can flank people who are coming along the road if we need be. Really cool. And then we just have a little stool here where again a guard can sit, and some more ammunition, another barrel of arrows there. But going back down our ladder here and moving on, go ahead and open this door, go ahead and close it. Oh, there we go. And now we just gonna go ahead and walk down this battlement again. Again, great sight lines to flank people who are coming, attackers who are coming, or just to watch those who are approaching this town. This does extend all the way down, as you see. Again, we're just gonna walk this, so just so you guys can get kind of an idea how big and how this whole thing works. And now it does end here, sorta. And I do plan on kind of fixing this and calculating how this sits once I start to do more work in the village. So this will probably change over here just a little bit. We'll make it look a little bit more cohesive with the way the city works. But for now, it works. And now we're gonna spare you guys some leg work, and we're just gonna go ahead and fly all the way back down to where we started, and we're gonna take it from there. So let's land right here. And now guys, I'm gonna take you and show you the next part of how the fortifications work here. It's a really cool feature that I added in. So coming this way, we go up this area and we kind of get onto this battlements up here, and it is multi-layered. As you can see, we have again good vantage points right up on here. We have these again, it's layered, and the way these work are like so again, you have views, great sight lines to see who's coming, and if an attack is happening and they're maybe using, you know, ramparts or something to try to break down the portcullis gate, we have a little secret weapon here right here, this ballista. And as you guys can see and notice, it's pointed straight at the gate. So if we needed to unleash a nice harpoon, we can, and that harpoon can take out multiple people in one go and just make it that much harder for attackers to just break through our fortifications that we have. And again, we have a couple of these on the wall, and of course they do have wheels, so that means we can position them anywhere we like for whichever vantage point we may need, or whichever part of the wall we need to protect. And so I thought that was a cool little feature to add to this, and I really like the idea of that. And of course, we do have lots of arrows all around up here too. But moving on, we come to the second gatehouse, and now this is an important gatehouse because this gatehouse protects the entrance to the castle, or the first part of the castle. So again, we have good views where we can see who's approaching. Again, here we have our portcullis mechanism. So cool stuff. But that's pretty much that. And so with that, we're gonna go ahead and move on and check out some more of these fortifications here. Now we're gonna go ahead and fly all the way and check out the furthest side of the wall here. As you can see, again, taking advantage of the natural land defense, I'm able to build up the palisade on top of this and kind of have the shape of the town be determined by the shape of the land, which is very realistic in itself as well. But as you can see, we have twin gates, our twin towers here that protects the entrance, and we have our banners and our shields presented to on-approachers. So yeah, I thought that looks pretty cool as well. And again, this gate would protect the beach here, the bay down there, where ships will come in and, you know, they'll dock. I'll add docks here or something like that, make it look real cool down here when we get to it in future episodes. But yeah, that's pretty much the point of the gate, is to protect this area from people coming in. And so really cool stuff. But going up at the top here, by the way, there is a way to get onto the wall from over here, and I'll show you guys right here. Eventually, once I start building up this town a little bit more, we'll add more ways to get up on top of the battlements here. But for now, that's all we have. And yeah, so anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move and make our way and check out these two towers here. Now stepping inside our first tower here, as you can see, very simple. We have a barrel of arrows right there, and we have some windows where we can look out to see who's approaching in the bay, which ships are coming in. Close that door. We have a chest there, and then we have this little area here where, again, we'll probably have a few guards stationed all the time, where they're just watching the bay here, looking at approachers and ships that are coming in, and seeing who has business and who can come into the village and who can't and whatnot like that. If they feel something is suspicious, they can grab one of those horns and blow to alert the castle town's defenses and stuff like that. So I thought that was a little cool feature to add. And now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next part of the tower, our second tower here. Again, very simple, same. We got some windows where we have some guards that can see who's coming and who's approaching and whatnot. And we have a little bench in the corner here, and we have a back window on this one, and a chest at the bottom of the stairs here, and of course some more arrows. But then opening the door, the wall extends out again. Good vantage points. Now I do again plan to add more wall and just to kind of make it more cohesive, but for now it's just like this until we start doing some more building and defining of how the town will be shaped. But for now this will work and it's just fine. But we're gonna go ahead and take it back down here, and then opening the door here and coming back into the first tower, but obviously the bottom portion of it. We have a little table here. We have some barrels in the corner. Our guards have a table where they can again sit and relax. We have a barrel full of arrows. We have some windows to see who's approaching the castle. And then we have this little area here where when the gates are closed and there's somebody knocking at the gates or someone trying to get in, we can attack them. If needed be, we can just stick our crossbow up against this and just fire it through at while the gates are closed. So that's just a cool little feature and defense that was added in. But anyways, moving on, we'll go ahead and step out, close this door, and we'll go check out the second tower's bottom portion of their tower. Now stepping in, as you see, still very simple in design. We have a bench there for some relaxation, a barrel full of arrows, again another window where we can see who's approaching the castle from the flank, and we can attack from their flank if needed be. Again, more windows to see who's approaching the castle. And then we have this big beam on the floor, and if you guys noticed in the walls we have these little potholes right here. And again, you guys probably at this point understand what this is for. This is what the guards would use to brace the big doors, the gates here. So again, they would pick that up and slide it on through the pothole and into the second pothole in the other tower. As you can see right out here, you put it there and you slide it into the other side, and it would, keep the gate from easily being broken open and stuff like that. I know it probably should be maybe one more block width longer, but I had to work with what the space I had provided. So, but I think it works for the look I was going for. But that's that, guys. Now we're going to take the tour and check out the actual village. And now, guys, saving the best part for last, at least in my own opinion, I really spent a lot of time squeezing in as most of little details as I can to try to create an authentic and realistic effect. So I want to first, before we check out the interiors of any of the houses, I just want to walk you guys around the village here so you guys can just get a closer look at some of the details and try to kind of appreciate them up close. So let's go ahead and check out some of the little details here. So moving around, you see we have some laundry right here drying that's just been washed. We have a dove cove back there. We have lots of barrels around, lots of vegetation, dried vegetation, along with some green vegetation. A lot of details on the houses themselves, a lot of texturing going on. Moving down here, we have this little area here. And then moving back here, we have this nice tree, and I had really been working on developing my tree building skills, and I think this came out pretty solid. We have a little barrel here with some broken pieces and some old worn out barrels, broken down barrels. An area here where we got some logs staying dry. And then we have a little place for our little wheelbarrow there. And then moving on back, I have to say there's a lot of details that could be easily overlooked and missed if you're not careful. But we have another little laundry area. We got some laundry drying in the sun here. Lots of use of vegetation and plants to kind of create a really rural kind of feel and effect. We got another little area for keeping things dry there. Again, another little laundry area here. All this stuff, all these details come together to create a feeling that looks lived in and worn. And then we have a little area back there to store some more of our logs and stuff for the fire. Again, a lot of uses of creating clutter and making it just look really good and really realistic. Again, some more clutter. We have a wheelbarrow here laying up against the logs. A lot of little details again. And then we got another tree. Again, I'm trying to improve my tree building skills, and I don't think I'm doing too bad. But yeah, I really love how this path looks here. It looks really rugged and rustic. It's really cool. And then we got some more debris and stuff right here. Really cool. I'm really proud of how this turned out. And then of course the entrance into there, But coming around here, we're kind of finishing off the tour with this house in this area here. Again, lots of good use of the vegetation here in the ground. Makes the build really work. It makes it all come together, and it really gives a feeling that we are out in the country. But anyways, moving on, I think it's time for us to check out some interiors of some of the houses. Again, most of these houses are generally the same on the inside, so we're not going to check them all out. We'll just check out a few of them just to give you guys an idea of what to expect. Again, these houses were built in the 13th, 14th century kind of rural style, so keep that in mind when checking them out, guys. So let's step inside here. As you see, we just have some storage here, some firewood and some barrels and stuff like that. And then guys, notice the ground. The ground is just like this kind of clay, kind of padded dirt with some stone cobbling in it. And that's pretty accurate to what it would have been in real life during the medieval times. So that's a cool little detail. As you see, we just have this nice big room. It's a multi-purpose room. Over here, we have this Kingdom Come Deliverance inspired cooking station, or oven, I guess you can call it. Looks really cool, very realistic. And then at the top, we kind of have this wattle netting that the smoke is allowed to permeate up into, and then it goes out into the chimney that's located right above that. But moving on in the room, we have a little table here to prepare food on and stuff like that. Some storage here in the corner. And then we have a table here where the family can sit and eat right here. And then we have some cabinetry here with some stuff stored and a chest on the ground. And again, up at the top, we have some more storage and other things just placed at the top. You know, this room really comes together with that. And then moving on, whoops, we open the door here, and then we come into a little area where the peasants that live in this home would sleep. We have some simple thatch beds, and you know, we can use this as a bench or even as a bed as well. And then of course at the top, we just have some more storage, and then we have these little shutters where they can slide them closed when they want to keep the cold out at night or something like that. So that's cool. So then closing that door, going up the ladder here, we just come to another area where we just have another like thatch bed, some more storage, some firewood there. And then right across, you can see that's the fireplace, the chimney, I should say, where the smoke permeates up into and then out of the house. And it's really realistic in design. So I'm really proud of myself when it comes to that. And I'll show you guys where the fireplace is at, as you can see. I think that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and move on. So I think we'll check out this house right here. We'll go ahead and go inside. Again, just a little area once you walk in, pretty much the same kind of setup. Just want to give you guys an idea how, you know, some slight variations to how the rooms are set up, but this is still very accurate to how peasants would have lived in the 13th and 14th century. And so again, I'm proud of myself for that. I did a lot of research, and again, a lot of that inspiration does come from Kingdom Come Deliverance, because they did do a lot of historical research to get those type of little details correct. And now moving on, I think we'll check out this place because this has a little bit different setup, so we have something new to look at. But first, we have some wood out here, some firewood, and then again, just a cool yard, very detailed. Let's go ahead and open the door. Now, stepping in, as you can already see, we have the stove here, and of course the smoke permeates through the ceiling there. Nice vaulted ceilings. Again, padded, like cobbled floors, or ground, I should say. And we got this nice big room here, where this thing here kind of heats up the room, keeps it nice and warm. We have some seating in here, and stuff like that's connected to the stove. And I would imagine that, you know, that thing gets really hot and again keeps the room warm. But of course we have a table and shutters to close when we want to, you know, more so keep the heat inside the room at night when it gets really cold outside. But moving on, we'll go into the next door here. And again, we just have a room that doubles as a multi-purpose room where you can sleep and just store more of your family supplies and stuff like that. So really cool, really simple. You know, they're peasants. They wouldn't need much because most of the time they're outside working. They're only inside when they are going to bed or eating, reclining for the day, retiring for the day. So with that, we're moving on. We're just gonna go ahead and check out one more building, and it will be one of these diagonal buildings. Again, very similar to the last one we were just at, but this one is a little different because it does sit at an angle, and so I want to show you guys how I was able to do that. Of course, we have some firewood outside, a wheelbarrow there, adding a little bit of detail, and of course this is where the design stopped. We'll eventually get to that over there, but stepping in, we come to these nice vaulted ceilings here where we have a stove and the smoke is permeating up into the ceiling where there is a little opening for the smoke to go into. As you can see, it's pretty cool. And then we have a little table here to prepare meals on, and then we have some more firewood there. And then opening the door here, we step into again the living area. It's a multi-purpose room. You can sleep in here, you can eat in here, and you can just chill out and maybe sit by this heater and just be warm on a cold night. We have a shelf here with some stuff stored on it. We have a dinner table here, and then we have a little bench here where you can lay here and sleep here too. So again, you can sleep in this room that can double as a bed. And then up at the top, we do have some more storage space to keep things. But stepping out of there and moving into the next area, again, just like the last place, is a little sleeping area, more so dedicated to sleeping. We have some thatched beds on the floor. And then that's pretty much it, you guys. And that's what I had prepared for you guys for this episode. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found something you can take away. I'm really excited for this series. I'm really trying to do my best to make this really feel authentic to the medieval 13th, 14th century period. And in the next video, I believe I will be working on the blacksmith and adding some more houses in. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Once again, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me on this episode. And if you guys enjoyed it and you guys were able to take some inspiration away from it, please leave the video a like. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Guys, I'm super excited about the next episode, and I hope you guys are too. We'll be building up the blacksmith, and so I hope you guys will join me back for that. But until next time, this has been The Kinder Knight, and I bid you a farewell.